Hey, what's going on, guys? 118 Set Shadow here. We're still in the middle of final qualifiers for Worlds, so just a few more weeks to go before we get to Worlds in February. During that time, though, we've been seeing a lot more drops recently, and we've got one really heavy one to talk about today. But I'm still looking forward to what's also coming with Set 3 in February, so we'll also have that to look forward to with a few items that we're covering today as well. The first thing we're going to talk about, though, are leader cards. And we're going to be going over two of the bigger leader cards that we had from Set 1, because they have not been doing very hot recently. The first one is Zernitra Zealous Wings, which has been the biggest of them in terms of market price, which is currently $149.08. And this card has been selling a bit, 100, 130, 135, but we've gotten listings as low as 100 now, 3 of them altogether, before it goes back up to 120. Ultimately, as we get more leader cards over time with new sets, the overall value of the leader cards ends up dropping unless they're just really popular units, and I can't say that Zernitra is going to be a really popular one going forward. In any case, it is dropping, so I would tend to think that it will just continue on this path downward. I do have to wonder when it comes to Aurelia Blooming Blade, though, as this one is a bit more iconic, and right now it's still managing to hold. Market price is $140.83, and last listing sold for $128 and $127. Okay, the first one for $85 is a Japanese version, but after that, it's still $127 base right now, but there are more copies around that area. Actually, all the copies that are available right now go from 127 to 135, so it's a pretty narrow range for the 7 listings that are available for this card. And as I mentioned, this will probably just maintain some value, but I think in the short term it does have the potential to keep going lower as we continue to get more leaders. And then we've got this card, the promo Demonic Strike that you only get if you got to participate in the Shadowverse Evolved Regionals. Remember how this card used to cost $250? Well, as you can see, it had a massive drop-off. We have several listings that are now in the $50 range, and the first page only has one copy available over $100, and they're all $95 and under, looking at the first page besides that one. And if you take a look at what's been selling, we got a few sales recently at $30. So this card has plummeted pretty hard, despite being a regional exclusive. Now, the thing that gave this card more value was the fact that it was an invitational regionals, meaning that only a select number of players actually got a hold of this card, as compared to your typical Bushiroad BCSs where everyone is allowed to join. But we've gone through all of the BCSs where the regionals were taking place simultaneously, so all the copies have been distributed at this point. Now, this card could see play here and there, so if it does fall back to 30 with more listings, it might be worth to pick one up anyway, as down the line it should retain some value as a collectible. But we'll see. Bellringer Angel. I want to bring this one back up because the base form currently has some interesting movement on its base prices right now. The regular gold is $16.60 base with a market price of $15.80, but the premium of the same base form is currently $21.02 base and $25.72 for its market price. Taking a look overall, I mean, you can see the market price had a hefty drop off in the last few weeks. And listing wise, it's been selling a lot more at $22. Someone actually bought 9 copies for $25 recently too, but most of the copies that are available are $22 at this point before There's nothing at $25 on the first page either for the premium. However, with the gold at 19 listings, which is far underneath the premium's listing count of 33, let's see what we've got here. 1561 is the lowest, is the actual lowest listing here. I'm not sure why that wasn't there. And we've got a lot more copies at 1650. But I'd just be careful, given that it's basically a $5-6 difference between the two. So if you are looking to pick them up, there is the potential for the premium to see another spike if Bellringer continues to get bought at the lower end. Then you've also got Chellia Lily, which for its Evo form, it hasn't really seen too much new movement. It's still a $4 card right now for the foil of the Evo, and 25 cents base if you want to pick up the regular one. But when it comes to the base form, it's still really cheap if you want to pick up the regular silver, 10 cents and a market price of 19 cents. But the premium is back on buyout status and is now a base of 1540, and it has 10 listings there. However, the last sales were all under $10, $7 and $8.27 among the last few days. So it has the potential to drop off again, but given that Forestcraft is looking to be one of the bigger contenders out of set 3, this might stick for a little while. But as to whether or not players will buy it, players didn't really buy into it last time, so we'll see what happens this time. Leonitis. Now, the Evo version, still basically the same, around the $5 mark, but it's $4.50 base and the market price is $4.19. But that's a given. It's a gold Evo, so it's expensive for being a gold. And then you've got the regular Leonitis, which is only 18 cents and 33 cents market price with a ton of listings available on that front. If you want the promo version, it's got 7 listings overall at $21.20 to start, and the market price is $17.80. We talked about it a little bit before, how it would get back to $30 and sell a little bit, but otherwise, it hasn't sold since the end of December, and we've had a lot more listings come up at the low 20s, but yeah, we're just going to have to see where it goes. I guess it's just going to sit in the 20s for a while. Then we've got Agnes Tachyon, which is still holding very well. If you want the base form legendary, $33 is the base price, and the market price is right there with 11 listings. The super legendary is out of stock with a market price of $35 right now. The Evo versions are not too expensive, $4 if you want the regular, and the super legendary is $13.41 base, market price $16.72. And if you want the signs, those are still pretty expensive, $300 for the base form and $167 if you want the Evo. And both of them are still just underneath their current market prices, just to keep that in mind. And our last card for today is Trail of Light, which, when it comes to the promo and the original silver rare, there are lots of quantities available, and they are both neck and neck in terms of being $1 to $2 right now. So if you do need to pick them up, if you want the foil for its value, it looks like it's going to be much easier to grab and probably more worth overall. When we take a look at listings that have more quantities, they're more around $150 right now. Actually, there is one listing with 22 copies at $1. It is a 99-cent shipping cost, but that's 22 copies. Dang. Someone's really been collecting these. But yeah, so the foil is still really easy to pick up and has future potential. So at $1, I'd say that's actually pretty nice. Thank you guys for watching. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys later.